Hello.
And welcome back
Welcome back.
to
Sick.
See You
Next.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. And what is the first Tuesday of, Ben?
Today's the first Tuesday of October.
Oh, I got chills. It's getting a little spooky.
It's getting kind of scary.
I'm a little nervous.
I know. I'm feeling the breeze in the air. There's a chill.
There's a definite spine tingling chill.
And it's cold outside.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside.
I really can't
Welcome
stay.
to our
Oh, wait.
Christmas themed episode.
But no, Annabelle had a great idea.
Thank you. What
and
I
did-
can elaborate on it if you like.
Yeah, please.
What is October the month of? I'm so glad you asked. It's the month of Halloween, the final day of the month. So I said, let's celebrate it all month round. Let's spend 31 days dedicated to the craft of spook. Let's do a whole month of Spooktober where we review different Halloween/horror movies for the next 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love Halloween here.
So true.
And we love Annabelle's new to horror movies, but
Well, look, relatively. Not like new, but I definitely didn't watch them growing up because
I'd say you're new. I feel like you've probably watched about 1% of the market.
Okay, whoa. That feels... Well, I mean, true. But the market's going to be massive.
Oh, it is massive.
If
I
we're
mean, I'd
thinking,
say
like,
I'm probably
of
like...
all time of all countries, yeah.
Sure.
1%'s probably generous.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm not like a horror buff.
Yeah.
Whereas you are.
Yes. That was my childhood.
And
I
that's
grew up...
terrifying, Ben.
Yeah, I watched horror movies religiously. Like, that was my favorite thing. And still, to this day, I have, like, a very, very soft spot for horror movies.
Absolutely.
I love them.
You've introduced me to a lot of the, like, biggies.
Yeah. I feel like I've also introduced you into some of the smallies, but...
You've introduced me to a lot of the smallies. But I feel like you've introduced me to a lot of the biggies that I, like, should have already seen as a human. We always watch, like, a random indie, a random small film. We love to do that. But,
we do.
Like, ones that I should have seen. For instance, this one that we're going to be covering today.
Yes.
That's a biggie that I had always heard of, had never seen.
So this is one that we watched your first time on my birthday last year.
Yes,
It
almost
was your
coming
first
up on a
time
year.
watching it.
Yeah.
And that movie is The Ring from 2002.
My favorite movie about marriage.
Yeah.
A rom-com.
That's why my Letterboxd review is about proposing.
Oh, I get it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, instead of a ring, I'm going to give her the movie. But yeah, we watched The Ring again. This was Annabelle's second time ever watching it.
Ever in the world. What number time is this for you?
I genuinely cannot tell you.
Okay, then don't.
As a kid, I'm so serious, I probably watched this movie like once a week.
What does that say about you?
I don't know.
Like, in your formative years?
It says that I love Naomi Watts.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel
definitely
like
watched it once, maybe like once a week.
That's fun. That's fun.
But
That's crazy.
It was always my favorite horror movie. Still is probably to this day. There's
Is it
just
even like
so
number
many...
one?
I struggle with this.
Yeah.
I feel
You've got to gaggle.
Because I have such a big love for horror movies, I feel like I've got a top 5 like set in stone.
Can I guess
that I
them?
know. Yeah, please.
Oh,
I would
like
love
5?
Yeah.
Okay. The Ring, The
Wow,
Grudge.
yes.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Those are my
Scream.
top, yep. Yeah, Scream would be top 5.
Is the other one like one of the other Screams?
One of the other Screams?
Yeah.
No, I think of a Scream as just
The
sort of the
franchise?
franchise is just...
Okay, then what's number... Have I seen it with you?
No,
Have I seen it?
I don't think so.
Is this the one about the hill? Or the one with that Australian... with Rada Mitchell?
Oh, wait.
Is that called something Hill?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
We did watch that together, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, Silent Hill.
And that's number 5?
Yeah, that would be number 5.
Slaughtered.
I remember us vaguely watching that together now that you're mentioning
2022. Well, we kind of did our off-air Spooktober. We were like hitting horror movies pretty hard in October 2022, and that was one of the ones we did watch.
That is, yeah, for sure. That was another... All of these 5 movies were movies that I watched a lot growing up. Constantly. I never even played the Silent Hill games. Really? I've played a few of them, but I don't love them. But I love the movie. Yeah, I just really...
With Rada Mitchell's questionable American accent.
Yes. It would never hit me as a kid. Never
Of course
once.
it wouldn't. Of course I didn't notice it either.
But it's truly a great movie. And I just love horror. I think it's so fun. I think it's one of those genres that allows us to really deviate from normalcy, from
For sure.
realism. And like, sure, I don't know. I feel like horror is my fantasy. Like, you know, the fantasy people, like the
like
Star
this is your
Wars people,
escapism.
and like, yeah, that's my horror. I think.
Okay, that's fun. I love horror now.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, like, a bad horror movie is going to be good. There aren't that many horror movies that just suck, I feel.
I know. It's like the trashy horror movies are still so fun.
Yeah. You can find anything funny, I feel.
Yeah.
Or they're really good. There are some in the middle, like whatever that was called with the mushrooms.
Shrooms, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was like middle of the road, uninteresting.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing is there are...
But the fact that I
obviously
can name the one that we watched that fits into that category speaks to the fact that the genre is fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's hard to find like a bad horror movie. I mean, obviously, if you don't like horror movies, you're going to find a ton of bad horror movies, but...
Donna Hayward, this month's not for you. This month's not for you, I feel. I think she'd like Scream. I don't know. I don't think The Ring's for her.
Really? I mean, yeah, there's a lot in The Ring that's... Okay, before we get into The Ring, and we stop talking about October, Annabelle and I have dressed up.
That's so true. So this is a little treat for the video viewers. So maybe hop on over and take a little look at us if you're listening on Tuesday. Give it a couple of days. Then jump on over. So Ben, who are you dressed as? Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Louis Vuitton.
Oh, wait. I just saw what you're wearing underneath. You Donnie Darko?
I'm wearing my Donnie Darko Halloween costume that I wore last year? 2 years ago.
Yes.
And that's it. I also wore this to the Taylor Swift concert.
That's so fun.
And that's my Halloween costume.
Did you wear it to the Taylor Swift concert because Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, I wore it because Phoebe Bridgers is skeleton.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I thought you were making like a statement. You were like Team Jake.
I was Team Phoebe.
Couldn't be me.
And that's my Halloween costume for October 1st. What are you wearing? Besides something that's going to cancel all of us.
I'm wearing Shane Dawson merch. Because what am I to do with it except wear it in my own home? I can't wear it outside.
On the horror episode. It's
exactly. Fitting. That's what and you know what? There's another little hidden element. I'm not just Shane Dawson. I'm the Shane Dawson x Jeffree Star collaboration. I put on this old, slightly crusted Jeffree Star lipstick.
I literally was like, oh, she put lipstick on.
And this is the one. She's not great, I can't lie, but she's old. I never used her. But I brought her with me to America over recently
for this moment.
For this moment right here, because I knew it was coming. So there you have it. I'm the conspiracy palette.
That's so funny.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I feel like, maybe we'll have another costume next week. Who knows?
Well, now I feel like we have to.
I feel like I'm going to. I've got costumes lined up.
Oh,
so.
I know you do, Ben. You just spring them on people. People's me. In fact, I'll just get a text saying, I'm in costume. I said, what? What do you mean?
10 minutes before we
I was fully in a different outfit. I'd changed.
Oh,
and I said, guess I have to be Shane Dawson. Ex-Jeffree Star
I gave you an idea. I literally told you what to do.
I guess, but I feel like you need the full outfit for that, not from just here up.
Then you could have stood up for the camera.
In this room?
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's jump into the ring.
Let's jump into the ring.
If you don't mind, I would like to actually give the rundown of the
I
plot.
was gearing up to, so I kind of feel like it's been snatched, but I'll give you it this one time.
So the ring stars Naomi Watts, who wasn't particularly huge at the time. She had done Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
Had done a few movies, but she wasn't a big celebrity like she is now.
Here. Yeah.
But it takes place in Seattle, Washington. And Naomi Watts is the mother of
everyone. She's the mother of us all.
Mother?
She's mother.
She's the mother of a child who is sort of faster developing.
45 years
mature
old
for his age.
Yeah.
He's an adult.
Fully.
And recently her niece had passed away.
Yes.
And she finds out that the reason or the cause of her death was this rumored videotape that apparently kills you after 7 days if you watch it. And so Naomi Watts, I believe she's a journalist, yes.
Yes.
And she goes on this hunt to find the videotape. She finds it and she watches it, and lo and behold, she gets a phone call that says 7 days. And she's like, well, shit.
Whoops.
7 days.
Oh.
So she is.
Yeah. Sorry.
What? No, go ahead.
She also, watches it very knowingly. It's not oh, whoops, 7 days. She's gunning for it, kind of.
She's I don't know if she's expecting it. I don't think she is, because everyone's just very
because it sounds like it wouldn't be real, but
so
she's
I don't
testing
think
it
she's
out.
Expecting it.
Yeah.
And she receives the call and she's obviously frightened. And she goes on a expedited hunt to sort of find the making of the tape, which leads her to, what is it, Muskoka Island, I believe.
Yes.
Some island in Canada. And she takes the ferry there, and she meets a bunch of people in the town who sort of tell the story of this little girl, Samara, who was brought from who was adopted by a woman who could not have kids. And she was also a little off, I guess. Samara was. She's a little weird.
She's not like other girls, one could say.
Yes. And her mother couldn't handle it, so her mother ended up killing her. And so Naomi Watts gets to essentially the bottom of it, the well. She sort of sets her spirit free almost. And spoiler territory. It's been 22 years. It's not a spoiler.
I think you're safe.
And so she sort of sets her spirit free, and it's leads everyone to believe that the curse is lifted and everyone who's watched the tape is fine. However, come to find out that that is not what she wanted. She didn't want to be freed. What she wanted was to be heard. And so the only way to break the curse is to share her story, to share the videotape and force somebody else to watch it. And once you do, your cycle will be broken and you'll survive the 7 days.
Yeah. Kind of like a chain email.
Yeah. What's that?
Kind of like a chain email.
Yes, it is very much like a chain email or a pyramid scheme.
Very true.
The original pyramid scheme, I'd argue.
I would second that.
But yeah, so it's definitely, I don't know. I feel like for some reason, even though there are parts of it that are very, I guess you could say, horror-esque, I don't consider it necessarily a horror movie.
I feel like, yeah, because it's not like insanely gruesome.
No, it is a horror movie, though I believe it's more just like unsettling.
Yeah, it's kind of vibes.
Yeah.
It's vibes. There's also like, you're following along with the story, you're like finding stuff out with her. It's not like psychological, but it's more so than like just a straight up, it's not like a slasher.
And my thing is, I think it's just like a good story.
It's a good story. It's not like serial killer on the loose. Who is it?
Yeah. And it's, I mean, I'd say it's unique. It is a remake. I don't know if you've seen the original. I'm going to assume you have not.
I haven't.
It's from 1998. It's a Japanese film.
Okay.
Yes. Called Ringu.
Yes. I've seen like stills.
And the success of the American Ring is what went on to make like 5 other Japanese movie remakes.
Oh, okay.
The Grudge being one of them.
Oh, like American. Okay. I thought
American
you
remakes
meant
of Japanese horror movies.
I thought you meant that Japan made 5 more versions of The Ring to try and like outsell the American remake. Is it good for them?
We're gonna get ya.
Keep going. No, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. But it is a remake of the 1998 Japanese movie, which is also very good. Like, it's phenomenal.
Well,
but it's the nostalgia for this one that really...
Yeah. And the Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi Watts.
You love a little bit of Naomi.
Cast goes crazy.
It does.
And it's sort of like all people before they're anyone.
Amber Tamblyn.
Amber Tamblyn is in it.
Short-lived.
Adam Brody.
Adam Brody is in it. Oh.
He doesn't even have a character name.
No, it's like Man 1 or something.
Teenager number 2.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? I wrote it
Brian
down.
Cox? Which one?
No, not Brian Cox.
Brian Cox is in it. Martin Henderson is in it.
Yeah. That's the one.
Scream King recently.
Virgin River.
What'd you just say?
Virgin River.
X.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's so young in this. Obviously.
He's also from New Zealand.
Yes, he is.
I think I forgot that until I Googled it and I said, oh.
Yeah.
Southern Hemisphere only.
And then obviously we have Naomi Watts.
Yep.
A big one is Davy Chase is in this as Samara.
Yeah.
Also known as the voice of Lilo in Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, you must have told me that when we first watched it, but I forgot. That's crazy.
I know.
Stop.
And then another big one. This was big for me at the time because of my father, but Polly Peretta's in it. She plays his assistant slash lover at his house. But she's from NCIS.
Oh.
Abby.
Yeah.
She plays Abby on NCIS.
Her.
And that's a big one for me because my family
You were an
was
NCIS
a big
household.
NCIS family, so we love
I think
Polly
I wrote
Perrette.
something about NCIS Girl.
Yeah, Polly Perrette. She's there. She's always there.
She's
Love her.
always watching.
But yeah. So, like we said, I feel like this movie is just more unsettling than it is horror.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always just trying to like make you uncomfortable, I feel like, instead of scare you.
Yeah.
Which I love, I think.
And also like I was nervous. More so the first time when I didn't know what was going to happen. But I'm like, oh, we've got 7 days.
Yeah.
TikTok, babe. Let's not.
TikTok.
TikTok. I saw what happened to Amber. Let's get a moving.
I feel like the one thing that makes it really, really unsettling is the setting of it.
Yeah.
The fact that it takes place in Seattle, it's always raining.
Yeah.
And just sort of the aesthetic that they created with like that greenish overlay.
Yeah. And Seattle's very green anyway, like Washington is. So like that really adds to it. I agree.
They made like a murky green,
like a mossy kind of
on every single shot.
Everything was a little moldy.
Yeah.
And
like I loved it's like everyone's wearing like these really comfy clothes and like it's just always raining and it's just really dreary constantly. So I feel like that adds to like the uncomfortable.
For sure. It adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere. That's the word I was looking for.
Thank you so much. Anytime. Anytime.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this movie it does. I feel like other horror movies don't have like, or horror movies recently at least, some of them don't have like the heart that this one did.
Night Swim's right there.
I know. As much as I don't want to talk Night Swim, my favorite horror movie I think ever made.
Couldn't agree more. That's what got me into horror.
It's hard.
It's hard. Also a pool scene, many a pool scene.
Yeah.
In Night Swim.
Yeah. There is many a pool scene in Night Swim. That's true. They had the aesthetic.
Spoilers.
No. I feel like also, I mean, have you seen the Scary Movies with Anna Faris?
Yes.
I feel like The Ring is sort of the one, I don't remember, I think it's Scary Movie 1 that really makes fun of The Ring. Like the main one is The Ring.
To be honest, I think that that's like where I got everything that I knew about The Ring before I actually watched it from. I think it's from Scary Movie.
Yeah. I remember.
I found them terrifying growing up.
Scary Movie 5, the one with Ashley Tisdale. And they make fun of the driving scene where they like whenever there's an overhead shot of Naomi Watts or Martin Henderson driving, it's just like this super wide shot of them on like a really windy road, and they're like covered by trees, and then like it's just really weird. And I remember the Ashley Tisdale Scary Movie making fun of it with like a voiceover that's like, and they're like headed off to, oh wait, where'd they go? And then they'll like come out from the trees, they're like, oh, there they are.
That's funny.
But I feel like all of the like main scenes I always have in my head from the Scary Movies too.
That's iconic. Yeah, I feel like I knew the girl, like I knew Samara from Scary Movie.
Yeah. What? No, you're not. I feel like I'm doing all the talking.
Oh, hey. Hey. Well, I really enjoyed it.
Okay. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday. No, I do have notes. I showed you all my notes. I have quite a few.
I know.
I should probably get a little crack into them. Okay. So this is a note. This was like, I knew going into it this time, but like from 2022 from the first watch. It's so much better than I thought it was going to be. And by better, I mean like it's so much more up my alley than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Because from just seeing Samara out of context, I said, this isn't for me. I'm going to be scared. What is this? I think just seeing her gives you the impression that it's going to be a different kind of film.
I can see that, especially because, she only really shows up.
Yeah, once. I thought it was just going to be like her like jump scaring people and stuff. I had no idea.
I also feel like from like afar, I could see that people thinking that this is like a trashy horror movie.
I also thought it was from like the 70s. I don't know why.
Oh.
I think it's just because like people talk about it and it's such a classic, and I just assumed that every classic horror movie is from the 70s, and that when you said there was a Naomi Watts one and you said it was a remake, I assumed it was a remake of like a 70s movie.
Yeah.
Not a movie from 1998.
I was gonna say they only made it 4 years later after it came out.
Recent.
Yeah. They wasted no time.
Absolutely not. They wasted no time in whitewashing, as America should have.
Of course.
It's what they're best at. But yeah, so I didn't know that it was going to be like more atmospheric, less like jump scary, horror-y, whatever.
Like what you think of when you think of a horror movie, yeah.
Exactly. I thought it was going to be that. And so I was shocked that I liked it so much. The first time.
Totally get that. I won't lie to you. I'm pretty sure that this is the first horror movie I ever watched.
Really? I was going to ask you before what your first horror movie was.
I think it was this, because I have no memory of anything. The only thing that might have been before this was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Ugh, iconic.
But I'm pretty sure it was this, and I feel like this is a good sort of like ease into horror, because it's not
full on.
Horror, yeah.
I still think if I saw that as a child, I would have been traumatized.
I mean, we've got like some of the really like iconic scenes, like the video itself.
The video is scary.
It's scary. It's traumatizing. It's gross.
I genuinely looked away, just in case.
There's some really gross things on it.
I looked away just because I didn't want to like die.
Yeah, just you don't want to get a call.
Yeah, no, I'm like I'm putting my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah. Sorry, you're not coming through. You're not getting
Absolutely not.
I feel like, okay, well, you want to hear a really fun fact about that video?
I'd love to.
Well, first of all,
it was submitted to Sundance independently.
Just that video.
Just that video.
Well, for promotion during like showings, they would put the videotape on the seats of certain people. And so people would get the videotape.
Oh, I'd kill myself. Oh my God, like, I'd have to leave. Can you imagine?
Present. I'd love it. I want one.
Yeah, you would. You would.
But also,
I think I'd get one and it would accidentally work and then I'd die.
Months before the movie was released, they played the video as a commercial with nothing
That's really
else.
smart.
Nothing but that was played. And so it didn't even reference like a movie.
Yeah.
It did nothing.
That was their promo. Had a peak interest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it successful like right off the bat?
It was definitely. I believe it was very successful. I could be wrong. That could just be me wishing.
Hoping. I mean, it definitely was subsequently, for sure.
It was successful in the Thomas household.
Once a week, it was successful.
Yeah. Okay, so it was in fact, it was a sleeper hit.
Okay.
Overall, it grossed $129 million in the U.S. alone. And worldwide, it made $249 million.
That's not too bad.
Critics loved it, though.
I can see that. That's another thing. Like, a lot of the time, critics hate a horror.
Yep. So critics quite liked this movie.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. It's great.
I agree.
Have you seen any of the sequels?
God, no.
They're not as good.
You like the second one, don't you?
I don't love the second one.
But it's like trashy?
I don't even know if I'd say I like the second one.
Okay.
I don't watch it often. I think I've seen it twice in my life. Naomi Watts does make an appearance in the second one.
I think you said, watch the second one, don't watch the others.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch one, I'd say, well, I mean, if you're gonna watch one, watch the original.
The Ring.
Yeah. But the second one's out of the sequels, probably the best one. I just don't think it's even that good, though.
How many are there?
So there's The Ring and The Ring 2, and those are directly related.
Okay.
So they follow each other essentially.
Yeah.
And then there is Rings, which came out relatively recently.
Is that Legally Blondes?
Yeah, the twins from Sweet Life are in it.
Millie and whatever Russo.
Yeah, they're in it.
Perfect.
No, it came out 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it is just sort of about the tapes, but nothing from the previous movies.
Gotcha, okay. So kind of like Legally Blondes. It's about law and blonde people, but nothing about Elle Woods.
Yeah, but there's nothing... And then there's I believe there's a Korean remake. There's multiple Japanese movies. So there's other ones that aren't
I
American.
knew it.
I have not seen the Korean version, nor have I seen anything past the original Japanese film. So I don't know about those. But the American ones, the last two are not really worth it.
Okay, noted. I feel like I want to watch the original.
I feel like you'd like the original. I think it's really good.
Is it really scary?
I think it's scarier.
Yeah. Because Japanese horror movies, I haven't seen like a ton of them, but I remember watching one in high school passively because Eloise and Donna Hubrick, shout out, made me watch it in the middle of our religion class, and it like traumatized me. Some girl was eaten by a printer.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Especially when it comes to horror. I mean, we watched Perfect Blue, and that's an animated movie.
I love that movie.
And I won't lie,
Fisher.
that's a scary movie.
It is a scary movie, but I also just love that movie.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
One of like my favorite foreign films, for sure.
I was memorizing the girls' dialogue throughout the entire thing. That's my memory from that movie.
It's an amazing movie.
It's great.
But
Elsie Fisher's filmography is genuinely like stellar.
She played. I'm trying to remember what her
the line
name was. Yeah, what's the?
It's like and then or something, and it's in my Letterboxd review of the movie.
Oh, okay. We'll have to come back to.
We'll have to circle back. Yeah.
Ring back.
That brings me to one of my notes, actually.
Okay.
The Ring, ingenious title. Because we've got the ring, like the circle. We've got the ring, like the phone, like you'll get a call. Mm-hmm. We've also got the ringing, like there's a ringing noise that rings throughout the video.
Yeah, and definitely. And also there are multiple like rings throughout, just sort of placed. Her apartment number has a bunch of circles. Yeah. The doctor's uniforms have a bunch of circles on them.
It's kind of like hidden Mickeys, but for
rings.
Horror. Yep.
Yeah, and I love the reveal of like the second meaning of the ring, because like you have the ring, the call, which is sort of like immediately known, like you know that's.
I'm not gonna lie, didn't occur to me.
Okay.
Well, it did like now, but when we first watched it, I heard like the ring. I think I'd seen the like ring.
I was gonna say there's the logo of like the ring.
So I just said, okay, ring.
It's also on the video, like that ring is on the video.
Yeah. But then it didn't occur to me until I was like, oh wait, they get a ring. They get a little ring. I just love the
reveal though at the end when she's in the well and it closes.
Yeah. And
what do you see but the ring?
The ring. So I just really appreciate the title and the layers.
I know it's definitely it's got depth.
It does. Literal depth, and doesn't Naomi know it? Rachel Keller, doesn't she know it?
Did find your Perfect Blue review.
Okay, what is it? Is it inappropriate?
You said I have 5 words for unhinged Elsie Fisher. Excuse me, who are you? Everybody go watch A Perfect Blue.
Girl, you'll understand. That's an inside joke for the Perfect Blue heads. It's great. What did I give it? A 9? A 10?
Yeah, 9 out of 10. It is a perfect movie.
Phenomenal.
It's so good.
It's an almost Perfect Blue movie.
Yeah. But no, I feel like speaking of like the vision of the ring and the video that they created, some of the most like I don't know, they're just such memorable scenes that like I am upset. Like the scene where she picks the fly off of the videotape and then gets the nosebleed.
Yeah. Very Stranger Things.
The horse on the ferry.
Yeah. No, that's a traumatizing one.
Which is why I don't think Donna would be able to watch.
Donna can't watch. No. Like you don't see anything.
You see enough.
You see enough to know. She just needs to know that it happens and it's over for her.
I was gonna say, you get to see the horse fall off. You see its back legs hit the side of the boat. And then you literally see the horse struggling on the side of the boat for it to be chopped up by the propellers of the boat. Which remind me of Harper's Island.
Shut up.
Because the first episode of Harper's Island, somebody is pushed or like tied to the back of the boat and then gets chopped up by the propellers.
I don't remember We definitely watched. I think we finished.
You didn't pay attention. It's like Sarah Michelle Gellar's death, and I know what you did last summer. You were not watching.
Hey. I watched most of Harper's Island, but to be fair, it was a big group of people who were watching it.
Yeah.
And I love to gab at a group of people.
Made.
I enjoyed. It's good.
It's so good.
Is Haley Duff in it? Did I make that up?
Haley Duff is not in it.
No, Haley Duff is in that movie with Lucy Hale set on an island.
But the girl from...
That horror movie.
From Monte Cristo.
Monte Carlo?
Monte Carlo. Oh, I love
the sandwich?
Oh my god.
Yeah, what's her face? Who's also in Gossip Girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to remember
I used to
name.
really know her name.
Me too.
It's gone.
Katie Cassidy.
Katie Cassidy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's in it.
Harper's
she's in
Island.
it. And she's about the same fame level, I feel, as Haley Duff. So
Sure.
do you know that movie with Lucy Hale and Haley Duff on the island?
I feel like I know of it, yeah.
Yeah. Like Dare Island? No. Something Island.
Fear Island.
Fear Island.
Yeah.
I said Dare Island.
One of the Ashmores is in it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a horror movie. I watched all of Lucy Hale's horror movies. I would watch horror movies back in the day for certain people. I remember watching that on YouTube in high school.
God, it's the bad Ashmore that's in it too.
Oh, it's a horrible film.
I don't like Aaron. I like Sean though.
And yep, sure. I don't really know either of them. Not gonna lie.
They're twins.
They're twins. Okay.
The good one was in Cadet Kelly.
So you're saying that this is a Hilary Duff?
Yeah.
So the good siblings are in Cadet Kelly and the bad siblings are in Fear Island.
Yep.
Lucy kills in it though, quite literally. I think.
Ugh.
I think for memory, Haley Duff is the one who gets framed, but then it was actually Lucy Hale the whole time.
Yeah.
I could be lying, but I think
you're
that's
right,
what happens.
but I haven't seen
and
it.
then
since,
she
it
goes
came
to
out,
visit her in a mental institution and is like,
Yeah. Wait, you're unlocking. I've not seen it. I've seen it once, and I saw it when it came out.
I've seen it once too. Why is it here?
It shouldn't be.
Get out. I think because I wasn't used to horror, so I was on the edge of scared that I was gonna be scared.
Yeah,
so it stuck with me.
I was going to say that. So, because this is Naomi Watts' one of her earlier roles.
Yes.
I still stand by. I've seen every single Naomi Watts movie.
You're a big
all
Naomi.
50 of them.
Boy. Yeah.
And I think this is my favorite performance of hers.
Wow. I mean, she kills. And I also love her character.
I love Rachel. I think she's a badass.
Icon.
Yeah,
even at work when she's
boss.
some guy's
he's like, you're fired.
He's like, you're fired. She's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. I said yes.
She's a badass.
Incredible.
And Naomi Watts is perfect for the role. I think her American accent kills until she gets heated. My favorite moment is as a child, I would always rewind the part where her son watches the tape and gets the phone call, and she ignores the call and then eventually answers it and screams, "Leave him alone."
I write that in my notes.
It's so British.
See, I don't even know if I noticed the accent, to be honest, which is wild. I normally
it is British as all can be.
I thought that's it. If you just take that scene in isolation and know none of the context, because obviously the stakes are high. She's worried her son's gonna die.
Yeah.
With that, just if you only watch that scene would look so funny.
No, you're right.
She comes in, she wrestles her son away from the TV. Leave me alone. And she's sobbing.
But her accent
does
slip. Her accent slips there. And there's another moment later on where it does a little less, but it still slips. And it's whenever she gets a little worked up.
Also, to be fair, Leave Me Alone doesn't have any R's in it. I personally love an R to latch on to. That's easy. But Leave Me all vowels. Ugh. Don't love
it's
that.
It's definitely the alone. She goes alone.
An R is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, she's so good in this. She is the perfect person to play Rachel, which leads me into a little fun fact I do have of who the role was offered to.
Jennifer Aniston.
No, but there are 2 other Jennifers on the list.
Lopez? I hope not.
No.
Jason Lee.
No.
Oh.
Love Hewitt was one of them.
Okay.
But she turned it down because she didn't want to be labeled as a scream queen because she had been coming off of I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah. They went to Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, but then she went to Ghost Whisperer. I wouldn't call that horror.
I
That's
wouldn't,
drama.
but I would call it like supernatural, realm.
But they offered it to Jennifer Love Hewitt. They offered it to Jennifer Connelly.
Oh.
Who turned it down for I don't know why.
All right.
They offered it to Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, okay.
And they also offered it to Gwyneth Paltrow.
I could see that.
I can see it.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it
Blonde
too.
women you
Especially
love
in 2002.
in the list. Yeah.
Like, I can see Gwyneth
Coming
Paltrow
off what?
playing that
Shallow
part.
Hal?
Like, I feel like her character in Proof is who she would be playing as Rachel, I think.
Yeah. I see that.
Maybe a little more sane. Is that mean to say? Sane?
No, that's fair.
I know, but like, it feels like I'm calling her character crazy, and her character's not crazy, but
A little less
unhinged.
hysterical.
Yeah. All of these words are horrible because like her character definitely has some sort of mental issue in Proof, but
Highly strong.
Yeah. I think she'd be.
Just using insults thrown against women. Highly strong, hysterical.
Well, I mean, you did like, was it last episode where you said you hate women?
Yeah, and I
you're
stand
just
by it.
Forming the narrative.
I'm just backing it up.
No,
So this would be like that character if she went on her period, I feel.
You're so. Oh my gosh. I think I could see Gwyneth Paltrow doing this. 2002
I could
Gwyneth Paltrow for sure.
For sure, yeah.
And I could see all of those girls doing it.
All of the girls.
Kate Beckinsale maybe the least.
I agree.
But I do think it's good.
Yeah.
That we landed on Naomi.
Yes, I agree. I feel like I used to have, I don't know, I used to think Naomi Watts was overrated.
She's not even Australian.
Okay, yeah, she kind of is.
She's British.
She's
English.
She's half. And I don't think she's overrated anymore since I've moved here because she's like underrated here.
I know. People definitely know her face.
People know her face.
Sure.
Not
like,
everyone knows her name.
No question.
I've brought her up to people and people don't know who she is, and that's crazy to me because in Australia, obviously, very hyped. Not as Cate Blanchett's like our god, but Naomi's up there. We love
as she
her.
should be here. I think she's definitely underappreciated.
I used to think both of them were overhyped, and now leaving, I'm like, well, I guess the rest of the world doesn't think that.
She's done so many big things, like King Kong.
Yeah.
Was like one of the biggest movies ever, and so I feel like that's why people know her face for sure. Like my family knows her name, and I know it's only because of me.
That's wild.
Like they would not know her name otherwise.
That's crazy. Yeah, my family couldn't get them away from Naomi Watts.
Yeah. No, big Naomi Watts fan. I always have been, and this movie definitely is the reason why. But, yeah, I think she's great. I don't think she's you're right. She's not overhyped here. So
no, especially because like I saw the Round Table thing this year. I think it was for TV, the one that like Nicole was in, and Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, for Palm Royal.
Yes. And she was talking about like how much she struggled at the beginning here, and that they were saying that until like David Lynch that they were like, yeah, you're so old to be making it, and I was like, well, that's wild because she was like famous in Australia. So I was like, well, she struggled.
I mean,
and America doesn't appreciate her as much as Australia does. So now I'm like rooting for her.
Right before Mulholland Drive, her and Nicole were roommates.
Yeah.
And Naomi Watts about to leave to go home and leave America, but she had the audition for Mulholland Drive and wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
Nicole told her that she should go for it and do it anyways.
The audition was just like a conversation with David Lynch.
Mm-hmm. And that's what made her stay.
Yeah. And he said, you.
And look at her now.
Vaguely known.
Thriving, though. She's thriving.
She's thriving.
But yeah, I love her in this. Did you know that this movie had... Gosh, I'm going to just completely ballpark it. Like a 3-hour cut.
Really?
And they ended up having to like cut a ton.
Because it's like
from it.
Just under 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's like 145, 150.
Yeah.
But one of the big things that you can kind of see what happened in the big cut was when they go back to the motel. It says it's closed until further notice. And that's because in the big cut, the innkeeper, the motel worker, watches the tape. And dies.
That's cool.
And so the motel gets closed for a bit. But yeah, that happens in the original cut, but we never saw it.
Damn. That's cool. I like that. Was the
I
original
kind of
cut ever
the 3-hour
released?
cut. I don't think so.
Huh.
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd kill.
Yeah, someone leak it.
The Zack Snyder cut of The Ring.
Give it to us. I don't think it's too late. You just released Rings.
Like with The Ring is like, we've got, I love, because we talked about like the aesthetic and the setting and the color and all that, but something else that I think really leads or like helps with the unsettled feeling and like the creepiness of it is the era of which it came out.
Yeah.
Like the technology and like how dated everything is.
Like the analog kind of.
It was of the times.
Yeah.
Like watching it now, I'm just like, that just makes it creepier almost.
100%.
Like the VCR tapes.
The VCR tape, and also the fact that like their smushed little faces looks like a Snapchat filter. And now I feel like they'd like play into that and do something annoying. But back then, that was like genuinely like insane.
And like, I don't know. I just loved the like getting your photos, your film photos like developed at the grocery store. And then they had like their phones and their VCR tapes. It was just,
because technology was more limited, the stakes were higher because it was harder to do things.
Hence why serial killers existed so much more in the past.
I know, take me back. Take me back. To the good old days where a fingerprint couldn't get you down.
The good old days.
I miss
the good old
it.
days when they weren't filming me every second.
Jesus, let me rob a convenience store. Let me rob.
Oh, I miss those days.
I miss
truly.
them too.
But no, I mean, I feel like what else do you have to say? Anything of value
in my notes? I feel like a lot of them were dumb.
Sure.
One of them was just Adam Brody.
Yep.
The plates at the funeral at the beginning that were white with the gold rim. I have them.
Oh my god.
Little Miss NCIS.
Yep. We've covered this.
The child is 45 years old.
We've covered all this. You're hitting notes.
Okay, so the last thing I had in my notes was a philosophical question for you.
Please give it.
In real life, if there was a thing going around and people like, if you watch this video, you'll die in 7 days, would you watch it? In a world where like The Ring doesn't exist.
The way that I think I would.
I was going to say, I think that you would.
Why do you think I would?
I think you'd want to.
Yeah, I think I would. I think that I would tell myself I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I think I would end up breaking down and doing it anyways.
Yeah, I think you would.
Would you?
God, no. God, no.
You would be the person I show it to stop the cycle.
I hate you. The way that, like, you're right. And the way that if you sent it to me, I'd be like, okay. No. I'd be like, no, I'm not watching it. And if you said, oh, well, I watched it, here it is, I'd be like, fine.
I send you the YouTube link.
And then I wouldn't send it to anyone else. Or like I'd try and send it to people and no one would open it and I'd just die.
Or you'd send it to people who've like already watched it.
Yeah, they're like, seen it. Well, yeah, I'm generally the last on a trend.
You sent it to Donna. Or you tell Alistair to watch it.
I'd highly recommend. I like give it a 5 on Letterboxd.
Oh my god. And you know what I'm gonna say?
It's gonna get added to a watch list. I know whose watch list it's getting added to. But I don't know if they'll ever get to it. They've got a packed viewing schedule.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make it to it. Or if they do, it'll be way past the trend.
7 days.
Yeah.
It's over for me.
Oh my god, I have tears in my eyes.
Well.
Overall, I think that The Ring is a perfect movie. I gave it a 5 out of 5. And I do want to say, I think that this is not only my favorite horror movie, but I do think it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wow.
I do.
Is it in your Letterboxd list?
My top 4?
No. Your like...
My favorite movies of all time?
Yes.
It's not. But that's because I'm currently adding as I go.
No, that's what I was going to say. Like, add it. Because I do that too. Mine's always a work in progress because I'll like remember something that I forgot to put in there. So pop her in, baby.
I just added it right
Actually,
now.
I need to put my favorite horror movie in there too because I love that movie.
Which we're going to get to.
We are going to get to. We are.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get there. You'll see.
Wait your turn.
Wait your
That's
turn.
me to me. Wait your turn. It's Minions Rise of Gru.
That's a horror movie.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. I think though that we can maybe
get sick. I think
we'll see you in 7
days.
7 days.
That's kind of scary. Like, what if we don't?
We will. We'll see you next
Tuesday.
Which is in 7 days.
It's in 7 days.
All right.
Bye.